Well, let's continue our coverage now, building up to September's general election. This morning, we speak to a sitting member, a member who has been involved with politics on and off the island for more than 30 years. Stockport Metropolitan Council, Ramsey Commissioners, member of the House of Keys, member of the Legislative Council. Good morning, Ramsey MHK Leonard Singer.
Morning, James.
Well, I don't wish to be ageist, but you are in your late 60s, and you clearly want another 5-year term, and you're not the only one. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but what can you say to your constituents? What have you achieved over the last 5 years?
Well, I've been very busy, James. I've been a member of the Department of Economic Development, and the Minister's given me major responsibilities for the finance sector, for the aircraft shipping register, country strategy, space strategy, and I've also served, I was the first chairman of the Economic Policy Review Committee, which overlooked the policies of the departments of economic development, the Treasury, the Chief Minister's Office, and I was chairman of the committee that looked into the Sefton report. We didn't hang back from saying things as we found it. And, of course, looking after the Ramsey and the constituents of Ramsey, looking after their problems.
Well, these are difficult times. You have experience. Reductions are inevitable over the next 5 years. So let's look at the bigger picture. Where would you say the cuts are going to be over the next 5 years?
The cuts are now. What we have to do is to prevent any more leakage of finance from the Treasury. I mean, this last 5 years we've dipped into reserves very, very deeply, and that has given us a deficit. And so we've got to really go out and promote the island in the business sectors that we're good at. So we've got to go out and promote the finance sector, the manufacturing, the IT sector, and the aircraft shipping register, so that we can encourage new businesses to come to the island, and they will then create new jobs.
It's more about promoting than cutting.
Well, I think we've cut. We've really got to be very careful. The government cannot waste money, and we've got to produce policies that we can afford.
You were opposed to government plans to reform public sector pensions. How do you think this administration has fared? You've obviously played a part.
Well, I think that the government has failed in producing and bringing to fruition some of its policies. For example, the Treasury Minister promised us that we would balance the books in these 5 years. We haven't. As you've just spoken about, the public sector pensions crisis has not been solved. The Chief Minister and the Treasury Minister promised that we would have a new and fair rating system. We've not got that. We were also promised a full preschool programme, which they have in many other areas of the British Isles, and we haven't got that either.
Well, you've got to try and help put those measures in place if elected. There's no question democracy is alive and well. We saw that. Political passions were ignited over the post office issue. I know you resigned as vice chairman of the post office after just 5 weeks in office. So did you let your constituents down on that issue? Wouldn't it have been better to fight from within?
No, I mean, what I said at the time, that I went to sit in on the post office committee, and I could see right from the very start that they didn't want to retain the courthouse in Ramsey. There was no way I felt that they wanted to do it.
Did you?
Of course I did, yes. Because after that, I joined in with the marches. I sat with the committee that was formed to try and get an answer. We haven't really got full reasons why it fell through with the Post Office Cooperative because of the non-disclosure agreement. But from what I hear, people say that the post office made it impossible for them to continue.
You're a pharmacist by trade. Is being an MHK a full-time job?
Well, I haven't done pharmacy for 2 years, and before that, I think I did maybe 10 days to help out emergency. Being an MHK is a full-time job. That's what I've been. That's what I intend to do if I'm re-elected. You've got responsibilities not only to your constituents, helping them. You've got responsibility to your town, to the House of Keys, to the Tynwald, and to the departments and the many committees that you're going to be asked to sit on. So being an MHK is not for the faint-hearted. It's not a part-time job, and if you treat it as a part-time job, then you're going to fail your constituents, you're going to fail your town, and you're going to fail your country.